the happiest superstar in the NBA. Did you see what Luka Doncic looks like now? Oh, I might not think it's going to last long, but dude is in shape. Plus, he's 26 years old, about to enter his prime, and LeBron gets to play with that? Steph Curry and Giannis would die for this, but LeBron just keeps putting out signals he wants out. What the? Okay, LeBron, where are you going to go next? Well, actually, it might not be LA. It might not even be the NBA. There is a wild possibility now on the table that no one sees coming in a city nobody would guess in a million years. Because this entire situation with LeBron is getting worse and more awkward. But around all this drama, Luka could win MVP next year, which makes LeBron's behavior even stranger. So Luka puts out this Men's Health article looking all fit, which is great. But even a little chubby, this dude's coming off a conference finals and a finals in the West. The problem in both of those series, though, with fourth quarter runs out of gas sometimes, especially on defense. But what we've never seen is this level of motivation after the Mavericks traded him. So if Skinny Luke is here to stay, then he is a top 3 player in the NBA at least, maybe top 2, which makes LeBron's actions straight weird. Because dude put out a statement with his agent saying LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that. But what he values is a realistic chance of winning it all. So we do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage of his life and career. Really? What is there to evaluate? A top 2 player teammate? Am I crazy? So after opting into his $52 million player option, he is now an unrestricted free agent next offseason. Could have extended in LA to stay there, but no. Dude wants another team apparently. Why? We know why. Because the team is no longer all about him. He wants to be the focal point of an organization more than he wants to win. If you doubt that, why doesn't he go find a better teammate than Luka Doncic? Oh, that's right, he can't. Or can he? Well, after committing to the Lakers for another year, LeBron started acting like a high school girl. You know, dating somebody, but subtly liking other dudes' photos on Instagram. Oh, I just liked the photo. Yeah, right, you knew exactly what you were doing. First, Rich Paul puts out that statement. Then, he wears a welcome home hat while golfing near Cleveland. Then, he comments that a reporter is wearing proper attire in a Cavaliers jersey. Then, he's training the Clippers' old facility. But now, there is a photo floating around of LeBron and Maverick Carter on a boat with Nikola Jokic's agent. Why does it feel like this man is everywhere except for committed to the Lakers? Well, let's talk about that Instagram photo for a second. Nikola Jokic's agent, Misko Raznatovic, posted a picture of himself with LeBron and his friend Maverick Carter on a boat. And it says, the summer of 2025 is the perfect time to make big plans for the fall of 2026. 2026? People are like, hey, LeBron's a free agent in 2026. LeBron to Denver official. I mean, Jokic obviously isn't going to the Lakers, so LeBron's going to Denver. Except the Nuggets have no cap space, they really have no trade assets, and realistically, they couldn't sign him for anything more than the minimum. Bron in Denver for the minimum? That is the most unlikely scenario of all time. So if it's not Denver, then what is this? Well, it turns out Maverick Carter is consulting a new professional basketball league, one that would be based in Europe. And this wouldn't be just another Euro League or a G League. This would be a full-on sovereign wealth-backed NBA rival. Think Live Golf, but for basketball. But this is where it really gets crazy. The NBA recently passed a rule that sovereign wealth funds, like the one in Saudi Arabia, can't own more than 5% of any NBA team. Obviously a shot at keeping foreign money out of the NBA, but a brand new league? Oh, that's fair game. And that is where Maverick Carter's league comes in. The plan is reportedly to launch with 6 men's and 6 women's teams. No salary cap, part ownership for the players, massive contracts, which is exactly how Live Golf stole major golfers like Brooks Koepka and Jon Rahm from the PGA. But this new basketball league would need their Phil Mickelson, like an older, super accomplished guy who still draws a ton of eyeballs, which is where LeBron comes in. Maybe he plays for a team in Paris or even the Middle East? Do you know what kind of a payday that could bring? 40-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo has made over $500 million playing for just 2.5 years in Saudi Arabia. My goodness. So LeBron's on that boat thinking, yeah, these NBA teams don't think I'm worth another big max contract. Well, I'll show them becoming the highest paid player of all time by a mile while sticking it to the NBA. Or maybe this is all about leverage, because if there's one thing we know about LeBron, there's two things that he loves: winning and control. Maybe LeBron wants to drum up this rumor for interest in the NBA. So if he does leave the Lakers, where could LeBron actually go next? Well, there are 4 types of NBA teams that LeBron could sign with outside of LA. Number 1 are teams that can offer him the minimum. 2, teams that can use a cap exception. 3, teams that can pull off a sign and trade. And then finally, teams with cap space. So first, the minimum teams. The Cavaliers won 64 games last year. He's comfortable in Northeast Ohio, but they're so far over the second apron that a minimum contract is most likely. Same goes for the Knicks. They're super expensive after the Mikal Bridges extension, and Bron is not going to play for James Dolan on a small deal. And same goes for Denver, as we already mentioned. So next, what about a slightly bigger contract with an exception? Well, first up, the Dallas Mavericks. Dude would love to play with his 2 closest active NBA friends, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving. The problem is Dallas can only offer the mid-level exception, which is around $10 million. Same goes for the Golden State Warriors. We know that Bron and Steph have flirted for years, but they have so much money tied up in Steph, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green that only a small deal is possible. Unless there is a Butler for James sign and trade, which also includes the San Antonio Spurs. They could also do a sign and trade because they have so many mid-sized contracts. Bron teams up with Victor Wembanyama. But the Bron Spurs thing has been all about Greg Popovich for years. Bron has so much respect for Pop, but now with Pop in the front office, it's unlikely. So now we get to the cap space teams. These are the most realistic because they're competitive and they can offer a bigger salary. First up is the Clippers. How juicy would it be to stick it to the Lakers and team up with Kawhi Leonard? If James Harden reworks his contract, then the Clips are realistic. But what about the Heat? Miami can open $30+ million if they move off Jaime Jaquez and Andrew Wiggins. So if Pat Riley really wants one more run, LeBron could reunite with a franchise that helped build his legacy. And of course, there's always the chance that he stays. The Lakers are going to have cap space next offseason. So if they look like a contender after whatever moves they do, maybe Bron takes a slight discount to chase that 5th ring, but that is a huge if. But another reason that LeBron might be upset right now is that Vegas team that he wanted to own. It now looks like the NBA has completely shut down expansion. We all thought that Vegas and Seattle would be teams 31 and 32, but not anymore. So why did the NBA kill this deal? It's actually a story that NBA owners don't want us talking about.